Now, this video is going to be packing for the class. Now, this is another product that I have purchased from MK Connections, and it's actually it's a rolling tote that you can use for your inventory because it's insulated, and a lot of girls purchase this to carry their inventory in, but I'm going to show you a little bit of different setup that I have. And I actually use this as my starter kit just because sometimes I get to a home and I don't have a lot of places to set stuff that I'm working with, and I like this because I can use this and it's got different compartments in it, and you're going to see that in just a minute. So first I'm going to kind of tell you some of the things that I take to the party with me. I have this little compartment here, and this is where I put, this is where I keep my sales tickets. I keep all my sales tickets here. I keep my profile cards in here that I take with me. I take a money bag with cash so that I can exchange, make cash with it. Usually $50 or $100, whatever it is you got. You just want to make sure you have some change. You want to make sure that you have 1s and 5s and 10s so that you have that when people use cash. I also keep with me some extra Choices CDs because this is what I hand out for people to listen to marketing. Then I'll take a calculator with me. Of course, a lot of people use their phones now, but I still have my calculator. And you're going to see that I have money, and I have this, I have these laminated because these are what my hostess credit is. I'll go over that in just a little bit, what that is, but I have these so that I can talk about hostess credit and how much money she's getting, and you'll kind of see me do that in the skincare class video. But I have these with me. I laminate them so that I don't have to keep making new copies or whatever, so that's just to protect them. And then I have in here, I have eye charts that I have copied and laminated because I like to have these for when I am teaching how to do their eyes. They have a little chart to go by, and it just makes it easier for them. And I will have most of these things, all these things available online for you. I either post in my video, my unit page on Facebook. I'll make files for there, or I can send them to you. So they are available if it's something that you want to use. And just because I like to have something to write on when I am writing up their sales ticket or whatever, so I like these little clipboards. I like these little clipboards to have to write up orders on. And I do make some other money to hand out for their second appointment. When booking their second appointment, I always give them $10 that they're going to get to spend there. And so I have those available, and I do print these on cardstock so that it's not easy for them to lose. And it's kind of weirdish maybe, but I have my picture on there because I don't want them to forget who I am. So that's just something that I like to do so that I kind of get that second appointment booked. So that's in this compartment here. And in this compartment, I have bags. So when I do prepare sets that I'm about to show you, but I have my product bags down here. So if they don't buy the whole set to get that bag, then I have this. So when they're just buying individual stuff. Again, I'm just keeping myself from having to run to the car and take up more time running to my car to get things. And also here I have my hostess packets already prepared, and I put these in sheet protectors. You can do them in whatever you want, envelopes. You can do them in whatever little foo-foo thing you want to make them look cute in. I just use sheet protectors and cut the white off the top. This just protects it. And I can also, when they purchase their product, I can just slide one of these down into their bag. So this is their hostess packet. Also, I set my placemats in here. I put books in here. All of that, that's everything that I put in here. And I'll show you the placemat that I use, which I will make available to you online. So that is all the things that I use to get my table ready. And in this compartment is all my supplies that I use at the class. So I have this little caddy that I purchased this at Hobby Lobby, and I like this because I can keep all of my brushes. I have a foundation brush that I use. I like all my customers, as they're having a facial, to try these because a lot of times you sell what they use. And for women that have never used a foundation brush, they're going to think they don't like this, but I teach them at the class how to use it. So I have those brushes. I have mineral brushes. And then, of course, these brushes are reserved for my hostess. And these are just additional brushes that I've had over the years that I have with me. But I do open up a set. And just because I like for things to be fast and easy, I have all of these right here at my fingertips. And this side, I have my cream eyeshadows that I use a little spatula to dip out of. And again, this is just easy for me. It's a setup that works for me. I have my eye primer in here. And then I have a case that I use. I just open up lipsticks normally. And I use a spatula to spatula some out into a tray. And I'm going to show you this tray because I have this that I've purchased. And I just dispense I open up the lipsticks, take a spatula, and just press each lipstick down in here and label it, because honestly it just saves you money. And I just take the spatula and spatula then the color. Now I am going to suggest you don't open up one of every lipstick, but I have a few lipsticks that I use at every party. And so instead of purchasing that, you can purchase this tray from section 2 of the Mary Kay order form, where I display and I use these shadows on my hostess, or on my model for the night, which is my hostess. And so I use these trays of eyeshadows on her. And so in one of these little trays here, one section of this, I open up different eyeshadows, again because it saves me money instead of buying a lot of those look cards. But you can actually use the empty eyeshadow trays and spatula out some of the lipsticks into these instead of buying that container. Or until you have empty eyeshadow trays, you could just make little trays with aluminum foil and just lay in here to keep them separated and label it on the top so you know which lip colors you have out. So these are the trays that I use for my hostess. And also in here, now I use Glad size plastic bows. And I usually get this size just because it fits in my container well. And I usually fill these about halfway. And I do this with water because at all my parties I do use microdermabrasion. And I don't want people getting up and running to the sink to rinse, because that takes up so much of your party time, that I use this as their sink, and I fill it up really full with hot water when the class begins. I get it as hot as the water can be because by the time we do introductions, it's cooled off. So I have 6 of these ready for each class. And again, it's going to save you time, just so that people, once they get up, they start to mingle and talk, and they'll go smoke, or they'll do this or that. And it just saves me a lot of time from people leaving my table and losing the class. Then, of course, I use the disposable washcloths. And then I have this little tray in here where I use mineral powders. And so what I've done here is I have labeled everything because I want it to be fast and easy. And I want to be able to find things quickly. So I've labeled them on the side. I've labeled them on the top. And so I do use mineral powder as well as the mat. And then this is a tackle box that I have all my supplies that I use. With my demo pencils, I use the cosmetic Q-tips. I usually let them use that for blending their eyeshadow because they don't get to use brushes. Mascara wands, cotton balls. I use cotton pads for eye makeup remover. And then these are my little, you can buy these on section 2, the little spatulas. And again, this is just a tackle thing. And I usually use that during the class that way. And then my mirrors are down here, all cleaned and ready. I bring a satin hands. And then I have another little bag in here that I put different lip glosses. And so I just use that to roll off gloss on their tray instead of buying a bunch of samples. This just saves me money to open up a real tube. And I have clips that I love these clips here for them to clip their bangs back when they're doing the party. You can buy these at Walmart or Sally's or Target. Then foundation, I have this labeled in matte. And then I have them in ivory and beige. And seriously, I just normally sample matte wear at my party. And then I do buy some samples. Now these are sample cards that I use at my party for everyone else besides the hostess. Okay, now as I was getting ready to explain, these are the shadows that I use for all the other guests at the party, because I want to reserve this chair for my hostess where she's getting all the special treatment. And what I do is I just actually have these cards, and for me, you can have this made up in what we call a goodie bag or a swag bag. I'll show you one of those in a few minutes. And you can have all these already laid out with their tools to work with, like their the sponge tip applicator, the little Q-tip, because I actually use the Q-tip, the cosmetic Q-tip, for them to blend their eyeshadow, because they can use the pointy end to work in their crease. So those could be made up in a swag bag, maybe with a couple of pieces of chocolate or something that you would want to put in there to make them feel special. So it could be their cotton pad, their cotton ball. I use the cotton ball for blush. I use the cotton pad for their oil-free eye makeup remover. Again, it's just tools that they're using for this quick demonstration. So it's okay that they don't have brushes. They're not going to like that as well as having the brushes, but all of that specialty is reserved for the hostess. Now, again, I'm about saving you money. Okay, so what I do is I buy the sheets of 18 shadows from section 2, and I only really buy like 3 colors. Okay, and so the hostess is going to have a special look. Everybody else is going to use the same colors, and then they will get a special look at their second appointment, which will be the night that they're going to be your model for the portfolio. Now, what I do is I just buy Honey Spice. Honey Spice works for every eye color. It's a beautiful color to start with. And each guest in her swag bag or laying it on her tray, ever how you want to do it, each guest is going to get just one of these, okay? So my assistant in my office already prepares these, and they have these. I have a special little bag for each one of my shadows. So she has all these tore apart and put in here, and all I have to do is just grab them out, or your assistant can make up the bags for you. So every guest gets a full card of the Honey Spice. So at the party, I just teach them that they're going to use half of this card for one eye and half of the card for the other eye. Now, it might not be enough product, but remember that tonight is just the night that they're just playing in colors. They're just learning, and so it's okay that they're not getting maybe enough, okay? But this should work sufficiently for covering both eyes well. So they're getting a full card of that. The other 2 colors that I buy is Espresso and Chocolate Kiss. Again, these 2 colors work great with every eye color. Now, what I do, again, I'm about being cost effective, and so I actually take the espresso, and each one of these cards, I cut this one card, and I make 2 cards out of each one of these. So Chocolate Kiss and espresso, I have took 2 cards, so of the 18 shadows that's on that card, I'm actually getting 36 applications out of one of these, because seriously, I was noticing that they were only using just a smidge of this, like just the middle section of these cards would be gone, and I was just throwing them away. So I thought, well, I can make 2 out of that color. And so I just started taking these and cutting them and making 2. So every guest gets a full card of Honey Spice, a half card of Chocolate Kiss, and a half card of espresso. And so that is the colors that I use on each of the guests for her color look. They also get, they get in here, they're getting a demo pencil, the dark chocolate. Okay, also what I bring in my starter kit bag is my tray. Now these are all the things that I'm going to display and that I'm going to let the guests use. So I'm going to be demoing from these. And I just love this tray that's on section 2 that you can purchase for this. Now I'm just going to go through some of the things that I actually bring to display or to demo at the party. Of course, came in your starter kit was your cleanser and moisturizer for dry and oily skin, your oil-free eye makeup remover, and your day and night solution comes in your starter kit, and a mascara and some look cards. So use up those, and then when you run out, you can start with my little system. Some additional things that I have added to demo, and again, I don't demo these at every party. It just depends. If somebody just doesn't want to do foundation, then I'll have the CC cream that they can try. And you'll notice, again, I have labeled because the writing on here is very small for me. So I have it labeled so I can quickly look and know exactly what I'm picking up. I also demo eye cream because this is a product I think everybody needs as an eye cream. So I demo that. So that'll be something you'll just take off your shelf from your inventory. Also, microdermabrasion. This is something that if they do not try this, they will never know what it feels like. And because it's instant gratification and they can see results quickly, I always demonstrate this at my parties. So that is microdermabrasion, and I have that in here. And I also like to do satin lips, so I have this in here as well. So that's in that tray. Also, what I bring with me, and I'm going to show you the whole table here. This is actually what my table looks like when I'm done setting up. Now, I'm going to reserve this spot here is going to be for my hostess. And so, everybody's going to get some of the same things. Of course, I told you I'll laminate this look card so they will know how to. And my model, my hostess is always the model. So I'm going to be telling them and showing them on like one eye of her how to do this. And then I'll keep referring to the card now. I'll say, I'm going to do this on the hostess. That's going to be A on the chart. Or that's going to be B on the chart. So this just helps them to know how to do what I'm teaching them on the hostess. But I want the hostess to be center of attention. I want to make her feel special. I want them to want this chair, because that is how we create excitement for people wanting to be a hostess. Also, like I said, I have my brush set open for the hostess to use, but I also have a nice clean set displayed, because if she is working, I give these for holding, if she gets 3 of her friends to book a party and hold a party, she will get this brush set free for me. It's $55. And I like to have these displayed, and I just use something like this. I think you can get these at the dollar store for $1. And just to open up and display the brushes, because I want them to see what she is getting. Or it may be that she's working for the Skin Vigorant brush, and I usually have this open and just have it nicely displayed. So I want them to see that. Or I'll let microdermabrasion be one. So those are the 3 gifts that I normally set out. But before the party starts, I actually want to know which one of these that she's working for. So if she's working for the brushes, you'll hear me later in the class talking about how she gets the brushes. And so I talk about that to get 3 of her friends to actually book at the party. Because our whole goal for this party is we want to book from the party. And I may even have a microderm, which is in this bag. I may have one of those on display out here, so they would know, in case they're not an avid glamour user, they may not care for the brushes, but to know that they could get microdermabrasion or they could get the skin brush. So I try not to normally. Now today, you'll see my table, I do have some of the new summer products setting out here. So I may have a display on my table of some of the color or whatever, but normally I like to just focus on the 3 things, and they may even be in the center of the table, the things that she's booking for. I want to keep their attention just on what I'm talking about tonight. So you're going to see here that I have their profile card that I'm going to have them fill out when they come in. Their mirror and tray, always cleaned. And then under here is a placemat. Now these are my set sheets that I use to close with. So everything that is in this set here is going to be the products that we're trying tonight. And I'll have this available for you as well. I also want to tell you just to get some plastic tablecloths to cover their table, because they may be somebody that's really picky about their furniture, and where I am using water, because normally that bowl that I told you that has water is going to be sitting on her right. If she's right-handed, of course, the bowl of water is going to be on her right side. And so because we're using water, I would never want to ruin their furniture. So I just get these dollar tablecloths and put on the table so it doesn't ruin her furniture. So I have this on there, and then I have each tray set up with everything that I want to give them. Like I said, most of the stuff that they demo with, you could have in a swag bag with some chocolate just to kind of fill them up until she serves her refreshments. Now this is how I pack my product to bring to the party, so I'm not running to my car a bunch of times. So I'm going to have, these are Miracle bags, so I usually order my skincare in the Miracle sets, the $95 sets, so that I have these bags to use. And what I do is I fill this bag up with whatever my set is, which is, this is a $207 set, so it's $207 worth of product, but tonight I do make a deal for that night. And you don't have to do that. This is just what I do. So that they purchase tonight, they're going to get a special. And what's in this is everything that's listed right there. So everything that's listed in here goes in this bag. For the biggest reason, the reason I make up sets for them is because I want them to know they're going to get their product tonight. So, and it's in front of them. It feels like theirs. It's ownership. And so they can pick it up and touch it. They're not using out of this. Of course, they're using out of my demo stuff, but they know, and I refer to, that's in your set. So when you hear me do the class, you're going to hear me say this is in your set. And so again, it's a cleanser, moisturizer, day-night solution, a foundation, primer, foundation, and a brush, and a microdermabrasion set. Now, I turn this a little anal here, but I like for all the labels to be facing the customer, and so that sets in front of her. Again, when I do my private closing, where we take them away from the table, I always have her to bring her set and her profile card and her set placemat. I have her to bring that with me into the private closing, which I have talked about with the hostess, where is that possible in their living room or whatever. So these are the sets, and this is how I take my product, and this is what my table looks like.